live is when we get to let's talk about. She needed to do was to stop by Miss Swan, the Asian waxing lady, to get that mustache removed from there, okay? Perhaps that's why you've been the side chick all these decades. She knows she was in that room, in that Carnival Cruise, rug licking and bull dyking. She knew. It wasn't like she was a flaccid 6-inch and then it grows another 6 inches to make it a 12. No, it was a solid rock hard, baby, don't forget this loop. And we're all looking at it like, what? You don't need no loop for that. That slips right the fuck in. Drop a bomb on that.
It's a reading bitch.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. I see my levels. Good evening. I am Juanki and welcome to my world. Okay, let's just get right to it. We are going to play the anthem and then I'm going to get right to it. It's going to be mad decent tonight. Okay, mad decent. Let's go. I allegedly doxed somebody. What the fuck? The F? I just want to make it clear.
Drag the shit out of that bitch.
I don't like you bitches. It's disgust that I feel for a lot of these homosexuals in this community because they're the bottom of the barrel.
It's a reading bitch.
They are absolute trash.
Sophisticated, Versace shades, educated.
All right, here we go. I got my panels together.
Intoxicated, broke line bitches.
Tasha K.
You wanna be me?
Happy Friday's Eve. In the SRO.
My Lexus at the Texas.
That's right.
My license plate say Juanki. I'm in the NYC. All these bitches wanna get like me. First class flights and
Bring it
VIP.
down.
I'ma read these
Marriage
bitches like
21.
ABC. I
There you
chase
go.
money, done chase cloud. Got big numbers
There
in my
you
bank
go,
account.
Marriage
I'm
21.
number one.
Bam.
Got all too soft. Now drag these bitches like I'm RuPaul.
Thank you for being here.
It's open and I read
We're
these
just gonna
hoes.
conversate.
So high up in that penthouse, I can't see these hoes. My clothes, custom designers, you can't find these in no stores.
Well, thank
I
you,
get
DC
money, my
D1C
lifestyle
claps.
is pure diamonds and gold. My whole life is a movie.
be
You
warned.
just a fan, you a
Be
groupie.
warned.
You clout chasing ass broke bitch, ain't nothing you can do to me.
For them bitches
Bitch, you
are always
could
clocking
never.
me. It's just a
Bitch, you
personal
could
bottom
never,
of
ever.
Just doing water tonight. It's water tonight.
Bitch, you could never. These hoes mad about it. Waistline got a lot of ass around it. Top notch, please go ask about it. From the bottom, but I'm so high class about it. 5-star restaurant, food bougie upper echelon. You old news, I'm popping. Your room's the size of my closet. 600 just for my sneakers. My flow sick like Zika. I kill bitches, Grim Reaper. You a working hoe, dish cleaner. Pull back or get stomped down or stomped down. Stomp down, so watch the words you're speaking. You don't want beef, you're vegan. The library is open and I read these hoes. So high up in that penthouse, I can't see these hoes. My clothes, custom designers, you can't find these in no stores. I get money, my lifestyle is pure diamonds and gold. My whole life is a movie. You just a fan, you a groupie. You clout chasing ass broke bitch. Ain't nothing you can do to me.
Ask me if
Bitch,
I'm
you
Ask
could
me.
never.
Naris
That's
21.
not
Never.
Ask me.
Okay? That is not an affluent
Bitch, you
man.
could never. These hoes mad, cause
Oh.
I pop tags,
Oh.
buying everything
Oh.
that they wish they can have. I be on the front seat, you be in the back. Back of the bus, back of the cab.
My name on the marquee.
Yep, I'm the biz like Marquee. I run this world like Juanki. Bitch, I'm Juanki. Don't forget your cans.
Drop a bomb on that. Oh my goodness. Here we go again. Let me fix this contraption yet one more time. I'm going to lock this thing in place where it's not going to have. Drop a bomb on that. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. It's just I'm so used to going not vertical on the other setting that, you know, I get my wires twisted. Listen, y'all, it's been a long week. It's been a long week. Thank you for being here. I am Juanki and welcome to my world. This is a cornucopia of stuff. Before I get into my monologuing for tonight, I do want to give a disclaimer. I am an adult channel, okay? An adult channel, all right? People tune me in or tune in to me late at night after they've had a long day of work, the kids, the husband, the wife, the partner, the spouse, all of that. And they come here to hear me have colorful language and talk about the happening. So I just want to give a warning, okay? It's adults only, por favor, okay? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful week. It is Friday's Eve. We can almost taste the weekend. I was in my place of business today, when I received a priority alert. Okay, priority alert alerted me as a priority Naris 21. Oh yes, he did. Oh yes, he did. They did, she did, them did. So, this is being sponsored by Priority Alerts. Thank you. I have just enough tomorrow to get me my little Starbucks and go on my power walk that I do every Friday. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get into it, I'm going to try to keep it mad decent, proper, professional, and demure. But, just for the new folks that are, might come across a video that do not know the history, and they might be like, why is he doing this? I'm going to be quite frank, and I'm going to speak for myself. There's a whole group of victims who've been threatened by Rico Didnt Barber and his backpack, fat cat. Okay, and so why am I doing this? Because Rico Didnt Barber threatened me numerous of years ago. This is how long this been. With biting me for the purposes of giving me HIV. Drop a bomb on that. So that, that's me speaking for me. I speaking from the I. For me, I feel that it is my, for me, speaking from the I, okay? That's why I'm doing this. Because I told you I have a response issue. I have an issue. I don't know how to let things go at times. And so one day I'm going to wake up. The birds are going to be doing their thing. The weather's going to be just perfect. I'm going to just wake up and be like, I'm done with it. And then I'm going to go about my business. But until that day comes, here we are. Okay? Until that day comes, here we are. And let me just point this out. I am just one out of numerous of content creators in this neighborhood who've been told that they were going to get spat at by Rico Didnt Barber or bitten by Rico Didnt Barber. The barber! With the purposes of infecting us with HIV. So he made it the boogeyman already. He is, with that statement, he's already saying, this is a death sentence and I want you to suffer with me. Okay. Aside from that, several videos ago, I was here talking to the people as I like to do, just talking about the happenings. And we were talking about, Rico Didnt Barber went live from an STD clinic as he was getting results from genital warts. Now, time and time again, I have been proven right. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to show you proof of me being proven right yet again. Now, people said, when I gave this information out many moons ago, many years ago, people said that I was a hater. People said that I was a stalker. People said that I was jealous of numbers. People said that I was trying to get it on in the community. All this was, I simply was observing through the lens that I have, the ones that God gave me. Miss Viewers of You, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to switch subjects real quick. And ladies and gentlemen, Miss Viewers of You was one of the early folks that was threatened with getting beat up, meet up to get beat up, Miss Viewers of You, when she was only offering a warm meal at a restaurant and help with some resume and skill and goal setting. Okay. And that's what so it's a long list of victims of people that have been threatened by this character, this individual, the barber. Okay. So, but before I get into that, Miss View, I wanted to say, and I said, I'm going to hold this until I see Miss View. Miss View, and I think this is a sign, Miss View, I was perusing the YouTube streets, in different sectors. I went to the cruising sector. No, not the gay cruising sector. Not I've never been in them parks. Drop a bomb on that. Yeah, no, I don't like vegetation like that. Not at oil. Okay, never been in them parks. Never was in the subway across the thing or all that, So, but I went to the cruising community. To be more specific, to the Virgin Voyagers. By the time I get on this vote, I'm gonna be able to say Virgin Voyagers. It's a universe uterus. It's one of those words that's just lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. Lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. Virgin Voyageurus. Okay, the cruise ship. So I was perusing Miss View's review. Miss View says, I want to talk about the cruise. I went over to Virgin too. Miss View. So I've been watching a lot of black YouTubers that have gone and they do their vlogs and all that. And it was this beautiful, affluent couple. She was doing her thing, you know, and they call themselves extrovert, but they did everything on the boat. You know what I'm saying? They went to every restaurant. They were like partying it all up. But here's the thing, Miss View. She went to this thing, right? I don't know what it was called, right? But she went over there and she was like showing us, right? Where they were actually doing puzzles, Miss Viewers Review. Puzzles. And then it was like a drinking game with the puzzle. And then there was a prize. And then I remember, Miss View, that you said that they used to have, they have competitions on puzzle building and how fast you can do it and all that. So I was like, now, if this is not a sign for Miss Viewers Review to get on this boat, and then Miss View, while she was waiting for the puzzling to commence, guess what she was doing? She whipped out a coloring book with markers, and she was coloring with she said alcohol markers, and she was coloring in her book. Drop a bomb on that. Now that's two right there, Miss View. That's two reasons right there, Miss View's Review. Okay, that's two reasons. Fainted. 2 reasons. I was like, yeah, they got puzzling with alcohol and a prize, and then this lady pulled out her coloring book and started with her alcohol. She said it was alcohol felt. I don't know the terminology, but she described exactly what the pen was, and she was coloring in her book, and her husband was there recording her right before the thing started. All right. Miss Viewers Review, now I want you to be on that boat, Miss View. You have to. But I want you to be strategic about it, Miss View, because I refuse for next year for the campaign to be, they drug Miss View up the pier, they threw her in the cargo shipment, in the compartment, they tied her up with some ropes, and they locked her up there. We sailed, and then they just casually will pull her out. Come out, View, you can come out. And then I don't want to hear Miss View got drugged up the pier, Naris 21, and into the cargo bay compartment, and they put a net over her. They like went and they captured her. Like, we don't need her to like have that storyline for the next 15 years. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? No. And bikinis, yes, they're coloring books and bikinis, and they just open up the compartment. Y'all want View today? Okay, View, you can come out. And then they bring her out, and you know, with the crayons and the throwing crayons on her and all that. Miss View says, James will not let that happen. Help me, Treshore. Fainted again. I'm just saying, View, my husband, the Incredible Hulk, and I would love to meet you on the cruise. Okay, we would love to meet you on the cruise. You know, look into it. Take the plunge. This is the time to do it, Miss View. To put in the reservation now on your deposit, because as we get closer, the fees are gonna get higher. So this is the absolute cheapest that is going to be now. This is gonna keep going up. So you know, secure your spot and let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Miss View says, okay, I got the hint. Juanki and Hulk. Okay. Yes, we need some view at the in the cruise. We need some view. This is really irritating. I don't understand why my vertical continues to do this thing. I am going to do something else. Give me a second right here. Now we're gonna see who got it going on. What? Okay? Now we're gonna see who got it going on. What? All right. Ladies and Jay Tansley, may I help you? You got 30 seconds to clarify before one of my snipers snipe you the fuck down. Okay? I'm gonna let you clarify while I take a sip so I can get into my Rico Deontay Barber monologuing. Oh, incredible. Just read my book. Howdy, just read my book. Just read my book. Has enter into the room. Just read my book. Are you considering the Virgin Cruise? Are you considering the Virgin Cruise? All right, ladies and gentlemen. See, you gotta nip shit right in the butt I like to walk right up to the face. You know what I'm saying? I like to, what was said? Who said what? You standing behind it? So you standing behind that. Would you care to issue me an apology right now before I go? No, 3, 2, 1, go. That's how it, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay? That's how it is. What was said? Who said what? Okay. Just read my book says, I said I was, but I think I spoke too soon. Wah, 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 wah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough. We're about to get to this portion has been sponsored by Priority Alerts, Miss View. I have enough for a Starbucks chocolate tomorrow with some whipped cream on top, almond milk, okay, and some drizzle. That's when they put the chocolate like that, or the fudge, okay? Thank you. Thank you. And I was just telling people, you know what? I'm going to, snipers, just stay down. Let me do it. Let me enjoy the pleasure. I just didn't like the way Jay Tansley walked into the room. I just didn't like the way Jay Tansley walked into the room. That's it. I have a response issue, and I got mad attitude. Okay, it's response issue and mad attitude, and I know that about myself, and I love it. With that said, I was telling the people, just read my book. Why do I continue to do what I do and how I do it? And the reason being is I'm one of the victims. I'm one of the victims of the threats by Rico Didnt Barber to bite us and give us HIV. You understand what I'm saying? Have you heard the news? Is the news what I'm about to? I saw it, and then Priority Alert alerted me, but I was in there, and I have a lot to discuss. If it's about the radioactive can collector, I have heard the news. But I'm here again as I want to, I believe in karma. And I've always said I'm not going to play with cancer. Unlike Rico Didnt Barber, who was waiting for results. No, something else. Okay, no, I haven't. But let me get through this, and then we'll go ahead. What is the news? Because I might go long, hard, and uncut on this Friday Eve. So what is the news? Let's see if this is... And then I can get into my monologue, and that way I don't have something pending. Just read my book. We await, just read my book. It's through. While she types. So, the disclaimer. Why am I doing this? Because I was one of the victims. He wants to, find me in the streets of New York City and bite me for the purposes of giving me HIV. That's what he said. He wanted to spit on Tracy. Well, Tracy forgets, and, all is well now. No matter how many people, I was going to say run a train on her, but no, no matter how many times people run over her. Okay, let's see. Dovey Mildew is doing a GoFundMe for legal fees to sue me, Louisiana Red and Kate Fit. Drop a bomb on that. Drop a bomb on that. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Dovey Mildew is doing a GoFundMe for legal fees to sue me, Louisiana Red, and K Fit, and that's going to go no fucking where. That's the play. But we all know she's gonna take that money and eat it. Okay, buy candles, put peppermint on her pussy. I mean, that's what she does. Do we not forget the transmission? The car transmission, the GoFundMe from the husband died. Like this is the MO. Every year you're gonna get a GoFundMe from Dovey Mildew every year, ladies and gentlemen. Every year there's something that she's gonna want to fundraise for. She's gonna want you to fundraise for. Okay, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. All right, so let me get into the meat and potatoes, ladies and gentlemen. So I am doing this because, I have a response issue. I don't know when to stop once you wake me, and I just feel ways about it. I feel moved to come out here and give people, especially my gay brothers, information. Absolutely. He said when we were there, right? Bro, you're so chill. Please don't go bald. Oh, baby, it doesn't matter. My husband loves it. Bald, hairy, waxed. He loves it. He loves it so much, he put 60 on my hand and bought me a brand new Lexus. Drop a bomb on that. And in the future, I may just show the Lexus. I may just show the Lexus. He's taking me international. He's taking me international. And we're going on this cruise. I mean, it's like, so, go off. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and, and perused the streets over there. But I should say before, a few videos ago, he had gone live from a STD appointment with two healthcare providers. And they were pretty much saying what I've been saying for a couple of years now, that he does have HPV in his rectum. Some type of genital wart grew to the point where they were concerned and they were going to biopsy it, and they talked about it being possibly precancerous. I said it'll be, what's going to happen is they're going to give him some numbers, what kind of HPV it is, and they're going to have to remove it, freeze it off, cut it off, or put some acid on it. All right. People drug me through the night. People put me in their news channels. Oh, he's so mean. But did he lie though? Did I lie though? I've been saying this for a long periodical of time, and people take it, in a different way. Rico Didnt Barber decided to go live today from his new apartment. The walls are painted, ladies and gentlemen. The walls are painted, Miss Viewers of You. But I want you to take a look. A homosexual that lives in rubbish and filth like that. And I said it last video. I said rubbish and filth. Everybody, please look at your screens. Literally trash boxes I'm assuming that's the living room or the bedroom. That's how he is living. Yet my husband, the Incredible Hulk, and I, and mother, and all the other gay men around here that have no type of sexual connection to him or don't see it for that bitch are jealous of him. Drop a fucking bomb on that. Okay? You see that? Do you see that? Rubbish, and garbage on the floor. You see that? Okay, do you see that? Do you see that? Now, when he went live because he wanted to open up on an unboxing of a Galaxy phone. Fingernails all dirty, like literally dirt. And Rico, if you are going to get into the unboxing world, okay, and you're going to be holding products up to, make sure your nails are cut, please. Make sure you take a moment to cut your nails or go underneath with running water. It looks disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, why is Juanki Pro doing this? Because last live, when I came out here to give good information that I know because of being educated about it, he came on and doubled down and wish ill will on people. Wish that mother had certain situations come back, health situations come back to her. And then when I said, karma, you yourself are waiting for cancer diagnosis right now. He doubled down on it and threw me in there, threw Hulk in there, threw Miss Viewers of You in there. Okay? That's what he did. So before, the panel start doing everything tonight and they start playing clips of this, in real life, yes, Deborah Charuka, in real life. Before, I want you to also run this disclaimer. Why is she doing this? Because of this. Okay? Because of this. Because of this. Because of what he said. Not just to me, but other people. But especially about me and towards me. All right? So he goes on today with his dirty nails and that in that filthy living room to unbox his thing. Of course, somebody in the chat is going to ask him about his diagnosis. What happened? What happened with the biopsy? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that it is precancerous. Drop a bomb on that. Now, before you get all in a tizzy and scared and concerned, understand that there's levels to that shit. I told you that it was a genital wart. I told you it was caused by HPV. Usually they're considered precancerous because if you don't do something with them, i.e. take them off or remove them or freeze them, then you have a problem, right? That could develop into something else. And then, I said, let me go ahead, since when I come out here and I give you my experience, what I've seen other people that go through, people don't want to, and Google is free. The internet is not, but Google is free. Okay. I decided to Google some shit, right? Precancerous lesions in the rectum of gay men. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? I am nearly doing this just for educational purposes. Okay? And then I'll give my commentary, but let's go ahead. And time I'm proving again. I said that HIV and HPV in gay men go hand in hand together. I don't know what the chemistry about it is. I think it's because one lowers your immune defense system and the other one, grows with a weakened immune system. So gay men, particularly those who are HIV positive, face a significant higher risk of developing anal cancer, which often begins with precancerous lesions. These lesions, known as anal dysplasia or squamous interalephia lesions, or SIL, are caused by persistent infections with high-risk human papillomavirus, HPV, strains, primarily HPV 16 and 18. I told you that there were going to be some numbers attached to it, right? By the way, this live, he quickly hurried up and privatized the live because he realized he went too far too soon. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, and you supporters of Rico, y'all bitches is no good. And I've said it 1,001 times. They're not real supporters. They're in there telling him he looks so good because he finally got a haircut. Mind you, his nails are all dirty and he has dirt underneath them, right? To the point where you can see them on the screen, right? But y'all didn't tell me, Miss Viewers of You, that Rico now has his face is droopy. He has these, they're not laugh lines. They're literally smoking from a pipelines. They develop around here. And if you don't believe me, Google images, crack pipe smokers, meth smokers, and compare and contrast. Okay? Again, time and time again, I'm being proven right when it comes down to that situation. He was very fidgety. He could not stay still. In my view and my eyes, I thought he was tweaking. Drop a bomb on that. Now, that is my personal opinion based on my experience of seeing people tweak. Okay? But he was tweaking and moving. And another thing, ladies and gentlemen, y'all ain't gonna tell that man that he got a twitch in the eye. Now, I don't know if the twitch in the eye is just his nervous system that was doing it or the tweaking. You understand what I'm saying? When the meth addicts are not getting the tina, the liquor, the coke, okay? Their eyes start twitching like that. It's just like blinking, and they don't even know that they're doing it. That's what's part of the crash, the calm down, and the tweaking of it. It's the body craving more of that thing. It's crazy because somebody asked him to give. Did he get any updates from the results? And he says that yes, the doctor told him that there was fragments, precancerous fragments, and that he has to go in next week and they're going to burn it off, freeze it off. What I've been saying to you guys for a while. They're going to freeze it off. Now, don't get scared because you heard the word precancerous. Just the mere fact that they're there and they're probably one of those numbers is considered precancerous, right? If he was to not do anything and leave it like that and not tell anybody and spread that to people could get that in their penises, misuse of you, in the rectum, anywhere where he touches and makes contact. No, you can't get it from a toilet seat. Okay? You cannot get it from a toilet seat. It has to have body contact like that, All right? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, y'all ain't going to tell that man that he's tweaking live. His eyes were all raggedy. Excuse me. And then these smile lines, they're not even smile lines because you've had a fun life and you've been smiling all these decades. No, that right there is the nasal passages. I believe they call them the nasal folds, right? Like the labia folds, but like the nasal folds when you are pulling from a pipe or you are smoking, that whole thing tends to cave and also cause like swollenness and stuff. He has that. He has that. Miss View says, Lord, I haven't seen a penis in years. Well, Miss View, get on that Virgin Voyages, and you may just see a lot of things. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to stop going over there. Oh, he looks so good, Rico. You look so good. Look at your haircut. When the man cannot stay still, fidgety, okay? He realized what he looked like and he took the live down. That's what happened. He realized what he looked like and he was like, this is not a good look. Nasal folds. Okay, Miss View, nasal folds. He realized what he looked like and he said, nah, this is not one that I can leave up. Right. Right. When the sucking action happened, right? All right. So let's continue because I've said a lot of this and people labeled me as a hater. Who is he? He's an outsider. You know, he's a stalker. He hating on him. No, the bitch said he wanted to bite me and give me HIV. Okay. And it's to the dirt until I feel like it. If I feel like it, that's it. It's nearly that. It's nearly that. It's nearly that. That's it. Okay. Here's a closer look at the issue. High-risk population. The high-risk population. Men who have sex with men. MSM. Okay? Obviously, I'm an MSM because I sleep with my husband. Rico Didnt Barber is an MSM because he is a prostitute. Okay? Particularly, those living with HIV are at a markedly increased risk for anal pre-malignant lesions and anal cancer. In fact, the incidence of anal cancer in MSM living with HIV is estimated to be 45.9 per 100,000 compared to 5.1 per 100,000 in MSM not living with HIV. I told you, HIV, folks that have HIV have a higher, it's actually 45.9 per 100,000 percentage versus people who don't have HIV and are homosexual that have 5.1 per 100,000. Smoking and the most fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Not random, but the most ironic shit, Miss View, is that as he's telling the subscriber that he has precancerous fragments in his rectum and he got to go in next week to get it burned off, he's taking a pull of his cigarette, okay? Drop a bomb on that. Taking a pull of the cigarette as he's doing this. As he's telling them that next week he got to go get the lesions frozen off, burned off, and hopefully, that will be it, right? Smoking, age, a lower CD4 count. The CD4, just read my book, is what Timothy Blake, the meth monster, told the radioactive can collector to get low to the floor in order to get the services of New York City. Drop a bomb on that. Yes. That's what Uncle Meth Monster told Rico Didnt Barber, the barber, to do. Get that CD4 count low to the floor. That's what he said. For you to get your apartment and get your services. Now, if you think I'm making it up, the videos are out there. Listen, I could be right now underneath the covers with an Incredible Hulk watching Beyond the Gates because we are now 18 episodes behind. Okay, we caught up with 2. All right, but I prefer to be out here serving and reading and dragging, but also providing some information. I'm providing some information. Prevalence of anal dysplasia. Studies have shown a high prevalence of anal dysplasia in this population, that is the gay population that has issues with HIV. One study found that approximately 30% of HIV negative gay and bisexual men and around 40% of HIV positive gay men and bisexual men have high grade anal SIL. That's the other word that we ain't gonna try. And that's from St. Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. Okay. Another study found that 92% of homosexual men with visible HPV, visible HPV means you have the warts, you have the lesions, okay, associated internal anal abnormalities had dysplasia detected in the biopsies, okay? Anal cancer progression. Anal cancer develops slowly, starting as a precancerous condition called HSIL, also known as preanal cancer or anal dysplasia. While many people with preanal cancer may never develop full-blown cancer, there's a progression rate of around 1 in 400 per year in HIV-positive MSN and about 1 in 4,000 per year in HIV-negative MSN, according to thebottomline.org. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen, and I still believe that it's not going to develop. This was caught early, and Rico has to put his part in. He has to do his part. We know he's not going to give the cigarettes up, right? I think the most that Rico will do is just keep up with the screenings. If he doesn't get too high, too drunk, or just doesn't give a F to not show up to his follow-up appointments. The clinic, the hospital, because he's at the hospital is actually going to keep following up, because the hospital doesn't want, contamination to continue. They don't want this to continue to be spread out, and they do have a moral obligation with his health. So they're going to bring him in, and they're going to remove the lesion, the growth, right? Which is, it's probably like a skin tag, skin fold, something that's visual, right? They're going to either put some acid on it or freeze it over nitrogen, cut it off, whatever the case may be. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to watch it, and it may grow back in the same spot and everything. He may need to do that process 3 or 4 times, Ms. View, before he can clear it, But he has the HIV situation, which does not help. And the fact that he smokes like a chimney clearly is not visually, he's not clean. He's not into bathing, into showering, into, the teeth, Ms. View, it was like butter. Okay, it was like butter, yellow through the device. It was all yellow through the device. It was disgusting, Ms. View. It was nasty. And then the subscribers are in there talking about, you look so good with your haircut. Bitch, what about the rest? Fuck a haircut. What about the fact that we're looking at somebody who's either took a drag of a crack pipe or the glass dick? That's the pipe they put the Tina in there. They call that the glass dick, Mr. View. A glass dick or the crack pipe. One of the two. Them lines do not just create from that. Okay? They don't just create from that. Again, if you just tuned in, why is he going so wrong? Because he told me he was going to bite me in the hopes for me to get HIV. Because he considers it, he himself believes is a death sentence and a monster. And because there's people out here in these YouTube streets who are happy, who are hardworking, who strive to do better. We all struggle. We all have struggled at some point. Some people look like they have everything put together, but no, they're able, when they stumble, they're able to get up, dust themselves off, and continue. Or they plan accordingly so that if they fall, they have a soft fall and they can get up and continue. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not filled with this hate. It's no secret. I don't like Rico Didnt Barber. I think he's a very hateful individual. I think he's done a lot of things to this community, has taken down channels for people who made this their living. This is how they were getting paid. Okay? Went around porn bombing people. It's just generally wants ill will for people. And it's not something that I'm making up. A few videos ago, you're going to see it on the screen, where he doubles down on wishing ill will on Milan Trishore, mother. Okay, with a TH for me. mother. Okay? Among many other people. Falls out with everybody. Falls out with everybody. Has been passed around from, homosexuals here that have no standards, no criterias, all right? Some were prostitutes themselves, okay? Some were prostitutes themselves, but they, it was like a door handle, like a doorknob. All these low entity homosexuals had their turn with him, Let's see. Let's just see. He is reading the chat room, another dimension. He is reading the chat from another dimension. Okay, I'm going to keep it buck with you. I'm not people being hateful. It's just if someone is on YouTube, they probably bore and like to troll. I don't know what you're talking about. Not necessarily. People get on YouTube for all types of things, all types of reasons. There's a big sector of people. Let me just tell you that when you look, and this might have changed in the last couple of years, but for a long time, YouTube, the biggest chunks, we saw the pie. If you are a content creator, you get access to tools and you get to see things. For the biggest time, YouTube was news, technology products, right? News, technology products, and some sort of like education, like how-tos. If you want to learn something, there's courses, there's all of that. This going back and forth and trolling and that, it's so small in the pie that they show us, it doesn't even make a dent on it. So there's, there's some trolls on YouTube, of course. And funny enough that you say troll, Rico came here as a troll. Drop a bomb on that. Rico's arrival to YouTube via Wiley, Marquise Wiley, Emmett Till, okay, all of that. Was to be a troll. There's some people that's their thing, to be a troll. I came on here, I was doing vlogs and the whole nine, and I've been here for a long periodical of time. I did vlogs, I did when I was doing my performing behind the scenes. I've done a lot, I've done a lot, but trolling was never really my thing. Trolling and lying, Miss Viewers of You, not my thing. Okay? Trolling and lying. I mean, I have a strong concept of like, I have a life outside of these four corners. I come out here, I see this as me going down, if I was back in the hood or whatever, me going down to the steps, sitting down, grabbing a drink, in the stoop, in the staircase or whatever, and just politicking with people. And then when it's time, go upstairs and get ready for my next day. That's how I see it. It allowed me to throw some lights on, throw some music, dance up a storm, be creative with editing and color and lighting. I've met a few. A few is less than 3. You understand what I'm saying? People who I think, that have developed into more and all that. But for the most part, I don't have the energy to come out here and troll. I stand behind my word, and I had to learn that there's a lot of people that come out here and just lie. There's a lot of people. We witness people come out here and fake whole careers. Chaplain services. We heard somebody come out here with a suit. We heard and saw somebody come out here with a suit and a tie and sit here and come to us from their job onto the bestie called Human Resources, and they told her that he had been terminated. Drop a bomb on that. You understand? We have mentally ill people who come out here and every couple of months come up with a new scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit, thinking they're going to do international trips and film a show. And her cohort, half of them can't even travel, not because they don't have a passport, but because they're felons. Drop a bomb on that. Felons. Okay, that cannot leave a state without some white men giving permission. You understand what I'm saying? Without some white men. So just delusional. Having events, delusional lies, having events that are going to be 12 hours long, giving awards, events that take 3 or 4 years to materialize, and at the end of the day, we're still waiting on the fucking event. You understand what I'm saying? Comic Cascade says, I understand that, but most people just project their insecurities to bring people down. Unpaid cashier. Oh, the unpaid cashier, you better call somebody. Says, would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? A tree grow. Was that supposed to be a tongue twister? Huh? Was that supposed to be a tongue? Oh, that was funny. That was funny. You get express to the skybox, baby. Okay? Delusional lives with no IDs or money. No real IDs, no passports, none of that. Okay? We've seen bitches say that they're executives at the airlines. Oh, I fly for free. Baby, that is a perk that everybody who works for an airline gets. Drop a bomb on that. Everybody that worked for the airline got that perk of getting a discount or whatever it is. Just read my book says, I don't understand the concept of lying. If you're trying to get out of a serious jam or trying to keep safe, I get it. However, just lying for conversation is beyond any realm of thought. And my thing is, just read my book. Maybe, shout out to Juanki. How did you know? Sky Chefs, where your meal is in the skies. Okay? This bitch try to tell us, Juanetta try to tell us that she worked for the VP. I work for the VP. Yeah, girl. Even the person who comes in and cleans up after the meeting, the board meeting, and is the cups and the garbage can and the whole nine, and cleaning she works for the CEO too. Oh yes, she works for the VP for the corporate. Yeah. The janitor, the lady who brings the coffee, they all work for the VPs. Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, the people on top. Yeah. We find out that Juanetta moonlights as a baggage handler, but she's really driving the Sky Chef. You know, the Sky Chef truck, Miss View, they back it up and they're the ones who bring the thing and they bring the carts. That was Juanetta pushing the Sky Chefs, where your meal is in the skies. Okay? Heated floors. That must have been some construction that they did in that garage. And he a Jew too? Oh, let's move on. Let's move on. She brings meals to the VP. There you go. Sky Chef. There you go. But we've seen it all. Just read my book. Perhaps somebody should fly a kite over to Dovey Mildew. We have a very prominent, highly skilled YouTube lawyer on these streets, okay? Her name is Diamond Ring Dory. Okay, Diamond Ring Dory should be more than prepared to represent Dovey Mildew in court. Okay, she should definitely be ready to, represent her, because she was at the helm of the No Dragging Children campaign. She was gonna sue YouTube and Google. She used to come in from the law firms. Okay, so somebody needs to fly her a kite. Tell her she don't need to be doing no fundraiser. Diamond Ring Dory, to get her name out and put some respect on her diamonds. All right? Y'all remember when Diamond Ring Dory, she had all these furs and she was running in and out of a car, and it was like, it turned out that the car wasn't hers. It was like a rental or Uber Black or something like that. Like, these bitches are delusional. Just read my book says Dory is too busy. She says she's getting married to baby Drop a bomb on that. Oh my God, I'm telling you. I swear, I feel like a whole bunch of these people are mental patients in the institution. The institution got a community grant to get some iPads and some laptops and some phones, and they figured out how to get on social media. Maybe the orderly said, "Oh, just put them with this group of people and sign them in," and that way they don't have to worry about them, look at them. All they gotta do is just come do a rounds every 2 hours, make sure they're still breathing, and throw some pills at them and shit. I feel like that's what it is. It's crazy to me. Early detection and screening. Early detection and treatment of anal dysplasia are crucial for preventing the progression to anal cancer. Screening with an anal pap smear and high resolution anoscopy, HRA, can help identify these lesions. However, there are currently no universal national guidelines for routine screenings for men who sleep with men, MSM. Some organizations and experts recommend anal pap testing for men who have sex with men with varying frequencies depending on HIV status. And what did I tell you last, ladies and gentlemen? That, and this is why I always think that gay men should visit a gay clinic. You know, don't go to your straight doctor. Go to a clinic that is predominantly for gay, bisexual, transgender, lesbian people, because they know what to look for. You understand what I'm saying? You go to a straight doctor, and if you're not 100% clear with that straight doctor, and the straight doctor may not know that if you are a power bottom, like Rico has confessed to us, and we have seen that he is. Okay, if you have the pedigree or haven't been a prostitute for years, getting high of ecstasy pills, getting drunk of malt liquor, none of this is made up. How did I know? How do I know? Because he told us. You put it on YouTube, didn't you? You told us. These were the story times, right? You know, the Tina, the liquor, the Coke, right? And so you're engaging like this with these people. And on top of that, you've been told to take your CD4 cells low to the flow and all of that. And I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that New York City was going to suck Rico up and spit him out dry. And y'all thought I was hating. He thought I was mad at his looks and his 10.5 and all that mess. And what I saw today, because I haven't gone over there for a long periodical of time. Let me tell you, when I heard the police arrest video and the STD clinic video, I listened to it. I don't like to look at that type of shit. Misery, you know, I just don't want to see it. So I listened to it. But today I looked at it, and I literally was in shock. Ellie was shocked. I was shocked at the decline of his facial. I was shocked. I was 100% shocked. I said, he does not look good. And then the tweaking of the eye, I was like, oh, this looks like tweaking to me. And then it was the fidgeting. He could not stand still. He could not stand still and deliver. It was moving around, and the eye was twitching, and the nails were dirty, and the rubbish is in the back. All of the signs for this is more than just weed. This is more than just brown liquor, okay? But I say it, and people look at me, and they're like, "Oh, he hating. Why is he the vitriol? All of that, you know." No, I've seen this. Miss Love Blake has walked into the room. I've seen this. Growing up in New York City, I had to remove myself from people. Excommunicate people that were friends or acquaintances from my circle because of these type of signs. I could not have any of that near me or around me. Neither did I want to. Not could, nor did I want to. You know? And if I needed to sound stuck up, well, baby, I'm to the best that I can healthy today because of the choices that I made back then. And so to the gay men that are watching this, you know, we read here from the Google, and this is when they say that there's no official, there's nothing on the papers that say, you know, in the book of all diseases and all preventions and all that, gay men should do this to not get HPV. There's organizations and institutions that have been at the forefront of creating processes. You have to remember, we're also talking about gay men and women. And so that's a whole other thing when it comes down to government and services and all of that, depending on what state you're in, what party's in charge, all of that shit, right? But like I said in my last video, if you are a gay man who has a lot of anal sex that's unprotected, you're a prostitute or a sex worker, for those that rather I use different language, sex worker, you know, or you have your own house, then you have to use your body for a couch, You know, you should be asking your healthcare provider, if he's not suggesting it, they're not suggesting it, to give you anal checkup, to go up in there and look. So, and it's just like same concept. If you have penises going up and down raw, that you don't know what they got or who they are, what they, this is a transaction, you're charging for the services, and it's like, you should get your tunnel checked. Drop a bomb on that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't no telling what kind of other situations is growing up in there. Because in the history of, like a male, like a straight man, or even if it's a DL male, right? There's not going to be an opportunity for them to get that type of examination until they get a colonoscopy at, they're saying 50. They're saying 50. For the longest, it was 50. It has jumped, I think, like a decade now. They suggested it at 40, But because that's how they start, and they go through the whole thing, and they check your whole intestinal tract down to the beginning of your stomach. And if they find polyps, they'll burn them, snip them, and take them out and send them to see if they're cancerous or not. So that is proactive right there, But you're now talking about when you're 40 years old, if you have a really good doctor that says, okay, it's about that time for you to, do a prostate, but also do a colonoscopy. And in the Black and Latino communities, that's very prevalent. Intestinal issues and all that's very prevalent. Let's continue. I'm here to educate. Anal dysplasia treatment. Treatment options for anal dysplasia vary depending on the severity of the lesions and can include topical creams, electrocautery, which is when they burn them with like two snips. They grab it and it'll just burn off, like he said. I think that's what he said, that they were going to burn them off. Using heat to destroy the lesion, or surgical removal in more severe cases. Important considerations. Open communication. Here we go. I'm almost done with this, ladies and gentlemen. It is important for gay and bisexual men to have open conversations with their healthcare providers. I didn't even read this before I sat here, ladies and gentlemen. This is like, I can write the fucking script on this. It's common sense. It's like common sense. It is important for gay and bisexual men to have open conversations with their healthcare providers about their sexual health, HIV status, and sexual practices to assess their individual risk for anal cancer and discuss appropriate screenings and prevention strategies. HPV vaccine, which I mentioned last time. I received the HPV vaccine back when I was in college, back when here in New York City, it was a trial group, because it had been suggested for females, and they were saying girls before a girl becomes sexually active, or between the ages of 12 and like 16, they were saying that because they're thinking that girls between 12 and 16, they're still virgins, right? Because in theory, once you sleep with somebody, you could be exposed. You just never know, right? So they're trying to get the vaccine, but then there was a whole wave that said the vaccine they were trying to test and see if the vaccine can be given to people that were already sexually active, as long as they haven't had HPV. And so I was one of the test groups when I was back in college. I signed up for it. They gave it to me. It was called Gardasil was the brand name, but it's actually, it's like, I don't know what the compound is, and you go and you take 3 shots of it, Gardasil, 3 shots, a couple of weeks from each other. It might even be like a month from each other. 3 shots, a little bit of soreness, but that was supposed to prevent the HPV lesions that cause cancer. Research and guidelines. More research is needed to establish clear guidelines for anal cancer screenings in MSM, particularly younger individuals, to reduce the disproportionate burden of this disease. The ongoing trial, I guess I have a trial now, study aims to inform future. So they have a trial now. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? I could write the fucking book. Like, I can write the script on this. I can write a script on this. And yeah, people thought that I was, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the ones in the middle. The ones that are going to stream this in the middle of the night tonight, and then they're going to put me in their news reports tomorrow, right? I'm still waiting for a bitch to come up here and show me the lies. I've been calling it out. And that we saw today, that was fucking tweaking. That's not a nervous tick. That was fucking tweaking. Them lines over here, that is tweaking. That is the Tina, the liquor, the coke, okay? That is not just weed. That's not brown liquor, all right? And time has proven me right. And it's not, I don't get any pleasure. I don't get any joy from it. You understand what I'm saying? Because even though he came through a couple of videos ago and wished ill on mother, okay? When I heard him say precancerous, I took a deep breath. Everybody with a sane brain that's not just swimming in liquor or the Tina, the liquor, the coke, or thoughts of beer-sized can, a beer-sized carcass, or just thinking about how next to fuck with the people in this neighborhood, okay? That's not, if you feel for that, because everybody has been touched somehow or knows somebody. If you haven't been touched closely, you know somebody, or seen somebody, or you know what that journey will look like at times. So I was like, I took it, but then I said, you know what he has on his side? First of all, y'all know crackheads can last. Drop a bomb on that, okay? I don't know if it's just the fact that they're out there in the world, right? Like alley cats and shit. But you think of the crackheads that you know. A lot of them last. All right? So that's number one. Number two, what he has on his side is that he has early detection. Thank you to them healthcare providers. The question is, now I'm going to get a little messy. Can we get a little messy with it? Let's get a little messy with it. The question for me is, how did he notice it? Okay? Because it's inside. So did a John try to run up in there and got faced with bumps and like, ooh, you got something back there? Was he perhaps, angering itself? And said, what is that? Why does that feel like that? Because it's inside. She had to put a thing and open it up, and they're going to go inside, girl. They're going to go inside. They're about to go inside your booty hole. It's about to be blown the fuck out with tools. Girl, wouldn't they hurt? I'm pretty sure it's going to be painful. But, however, I believe that it's not like it's tight. And I'm not even being funny right now. It's because it was a prostitute. It's probably, some people are good at what they do. Some people could just like bloom, flowers in bloom, and then go back to the bulb. And then, you understand what I'm saying? A mess. Nara says a mess. But just read my book. Some girls can just have a whole train run up in there like that. And we're talking to somebody who said he liked it beer can size. And then he took a beer and he said, this thick. I like to sit on it this thick. That's what he said. I mean, the bumps, wouldn't they hurt? I know, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have to numb him if they're going to do like, well, the lady said, I guess he has some outside and some inside. The lady said that the ones outside were going to hurt him. I don't know if it's more nerve endings or whatever, but she said inside you're not going to feel much. So there's that. Knowing Rico, he may just come live while the procedure is being done. Drop a bomb on that. Because he's so hungry for attention. Any attention. Whether it's bad attention or good, any attention. He is craving that attention. He needs to have that attention. This is some of the most intimate personal details. It has allowed us to have these conversations. It has allowed me to be able to come out here and give information and clarify. Because just read my book, he wanted to normalize people having syphilis. Gay men having syphilis. No, it's not. Not every gay man has syphilis. Absolutely not. That's not no. And more than once. More than once. Because they're under the belief that he has been reinfected due to the numbers that I discussed last time. And again, having HIV and then taking the advice of meth monster, okay, and getting that CD4 count low to the floor to be able to get your 40 acres and a mule in New York City weakens your immune system and rents you useless to be able to fight shit like syphilis, like HPV, and a myriad of other things. This is just a sexual shit. Could you imagine what the liver is looking like? Okay, from all the drinking, all the abuse, what the lungs are looking like with all that tar from the cigarettes and the blunts and the weed smoking. But bitch, I'm jealous of you. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, and I, according to you, let me speak in your language, is jealous of you. You got it's going on. And I'm a hater because of the mashups. Okay? Because you have a following on YouTube. But bitch, do you have a bank account? Drop a bomb on that. Do you have a bank account? Hold on a second. Hold the fuck a second. I find this more fitting. We have descended, ladies and gentlemen. We're down there. Okay? We have descended. This section of the broadcast is sponsored by Priority Alerts. When you need to be alerted in a priority type of way. Priority Alerts. You such a slow, dumb, retarded little bitch. Okay? The fuck do you have for us to be jealous of? I want to direct everybody to the rubbish that he sits in and listen. This is less than 3 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen. No, this wasn't the week that he moved. No, this is not photoshopped. You see the rubbish back there? Who lives like this? And then fixes his mouth to say, we're jealous. Bitch, are you insane? Jealous of what? Of what? Okay, so you have a following that tunes in to see misery and see you act the fool. Oh, antisocial raw. Let me look at your screen one more time. I'm going to leave right there. I'm going to let everybody just take it in. This was today, antisocial raw. When he told us that the biopsy came back and he has, and I quote, fragments of precancerous fragments in his rectum. And next week, he's going to go in and they're going to burn them off. Drop a bomb on that. But we jealous of him. We jealous. We a hater. We jealous. No, bitch. No. Not at all. No. I got this heat and I sit right here and we descend real quickly. Okay, we descent real quickly. Oh, I said this was going to be mad decent, right? Right? I used to phonetically. I meant we're going to descend. That's what I meant. We're going to descend. All right? I put decent, but we're going to descend to the red room. Red room, red room, red room. Okay? Ain't nobody jealous of you. You a joke, girl. You a joke. You're a fucking joke. People are tuning in to see how low can you go, just like the CD4. Okay? They're not supporting you. Trust me, if you were supported for real, you would have been taken out of your misery. No, they weren't going to put him down. They would have put you in some penthouse. They would have washed you up, cleaned you up. Okay? Put you in a gym, got you a personal trainer, buy you the healthiest of meals, send you to a course so you know how to eat and not grab a spoon like this or a fork like this. Prepped you real good. Got a stylist to buy you some clothes and put you together and get you ready to go to these events and parade you all around town, Chelsea, Soho, okay, at the latest galleries. That's if you really had it going on, bitch. You don't. You don't. Okay? You came to New York City on the Chinese bus chasing after Raymond Davis with a 10.5 or 9.5, whatever the fuck it is. He acts like he's the only person in this earth with a gigantic penis. And to be quite honest, that let me not even go there. Drop a bomb on that. He acts like when they handed them out, he was the only one that was handed that out. Okay? And what good did it serve you? It landed you with what? 3 pills a day? It landed you what? Having to go in a long-term relationship with these white healthcare providers? You know, not even fully doctors, in some STD clinic, having to probe you left and right. Every hole gets a little swab. Every hole gets a swab. Sent out, lab work after lab work after lab work, having to keep track of numbers and all that shit. But you got it going on, and we hating on you. We hating on you. Hardworking people. Do I prefer to be on a motherfucking cruise with a bottle of Moet? I said a bottle of Moet, Miss View. I didn't say a glass. I said a bottle of Moet. With a bottle of Moet, with my husband, the Incredible Hulk, sitting next to me, wearing the latest fashions, okay? Enjoying the breeze. And my biggest concern is, what are we doing tomorrow at the shore when we get to the port and shit? Yes, I prefer to be doing that. But in order for us to do that, this May, please go ahead and email mother. All right? We have to work to pay for it. Because I don't come out here and beg. And I hope that y'all understand that the whole, I'm being sponsored by Priority, it's a fucking gag and a joke, okay? Drop a bomb on that. Just for the idiots in the back that don't get it. It's a play on words. We joke, and it's just joking back and forth. Okay? Ain't nobody sponsoring shit over here. But my husband. He sponsors me, period. And I sponsor him, period. Okay? Antisocial Ra says, that's wild. He doesn't even have the common sense to be embarrassed. Antisocial Ra, I don't know if it's that he doesn't have common sense. We know that. But it's like threefold, right? He wants sympathy. He understands that sympathy gets the views and some cash apps, right? And he sees that as support, the cash apps, right? How could you be embarrassed when you don't have like self-worth? How could you be embarrassed when you don't carry yourself in an elevated way to at least be respectful of your body enough to fucking cut your nails if they're gonna be up in the screen? Antisocial Ra, they're full of dirt. I don't know what John or what man is gonna feel turned on to have those type of nails in anybody's body. Like, I don't get it. It's nasty. It's disgusting. But he wants to go around handing out HIV via sexual, via biting, spitting, fighting with people. You understand what I'm saying? Fighting with people. For what? For what? A mess. Nasty. A mess and nasty. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. We've been at this now for an hour and 17 minutes. I think it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. Let's take the elevator real quick. Bam! We're back. Whew. Well, I'll be dropping to that red room. I don't know how to behave. I want to thank you for coming through. Listen, why am I doing this? Because he offered to bite me and hope that I will catch his HIV. Drop a bomb on that. Now, that may not be a big enough reason for somebody. It's my big enough reason. And I've been humble enough to come out here and tell you I have a problem. I don't know when to stop. I've said that. So for future bitches, I don't know how to stop. Okay? I'll stop when I feel like I want to stop. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason. Why is he going so hard? Because I can. because I have some issues. I know that about myself. And I want to combat the ignorance and the trying to normalize this whole thing. It's not normal for a gay man who's at the end of his life, and I don't care how this sounds, what people think, Timothy Blaine is closest to the cemetery than to the fucking birthday of his, than to be young and all that, and youthful and agile. All right? I think it's a problem for somebody who's lived that life and seen a lot and done a lot at all angles and has ingested a lot. Maybe the brain is just fried. For him to suggest for somebody to drop their CD4 cells low to the floor so they could get a handout, drop a bomb on that. I think it's insane to me. For you to actually suggest somebody nearly deletes themselves. Because you could be dropping on purpose your CD4 cells. You don't know if that shit's going to come back up to a healthy level or if you're really going to descend into the AIDS ward and never leave that ward. But that was the recommendation that was given by the meth monster. Okay? The uncle. All right? The elder that so many look up to. I've told you 1,000 times. Timothy Blaine cannot say a motherfucking thing to me. Period. Not one. On the contrary, I should be giving advice. I should be giving advice to a Timothy Blaine, even with his pedigree. Okay? So, I want to thank everybody who came through. I'm back. Oh, Miss View says she's back. And we're about to just close out Miss View. So, go ahead and replay me if you want to. The meth monster. Meth was his monster. Or maybe meth was a drug and he was the monster. Right? Meth was a drug and he was the monster. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss View says, I like him when he came out, but I saw that he praised Tracy too much. Oh, okay. Whatever. My husband thought it was hilarious when he came out here with Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Oh, Mayday. Oh, Mayday. Okay, white boy got you saying Mayday. Okay, Mayday. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming through. Listen, we did a little bit of dragging. We did a lot of truth telling. And we did a little bit of speaking facts from the Google and all of that, right? I'm going to leave that just right there, Miss View. I'm not going to read it. Because listen, I do not need, Miss View, you know you're already going to be drug of a pier and pulled into a cargo hold ship and all that. Like, I don't need you now to be drug in the middle of the night for being here. Okay, drop a bomb on that. So I'm trying to minimize what I put up there because I don't want to have to come out here and rumble. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're not gonna do is what they tried to do before. Period. Okay. No, I'm just saying I don't want to, because these people, they get me mad. But ladies and gentlemen, we also talked about the cruise. Love Blake, Miss Love Blake. There's a cruise going around. Check and see if you're interested. Milan Treshore, check it out. They can't drag me. Fuck that. Just read my book says, I learned a few things I can pass along. Thank you. You're welcome. And, unfortunately, this is, when women sleep with bisexual men or bisexual men hide it from their women and they're sleeping with men. Miss View says, I will be on the Treshore cruise. Drop a bomb on that. With you and hope. Miss View. So if you are, as we get closer, I'm going to have us, there's something we need to do on the app so that we can have a meal together at one of the restaurants. So that, because you have to do the reservations and stuff, right? But if you have a group of the people that you want to have a meal with, you just do something on the app and then we'll be able to make the reservation for 3, 4, 6 or whatever. They got Korean barbecue, Miss View. They got Korean barbecue. They got so much up there. I know you're going to love it. Let's just remember, Miss View, when are you going live again? Miss View, yes, let's leave with that. When are you going live again? And then I will go ahead and close out. Let us know, Miss View, as I start closing out some of these windows. I will be back I will be back tomorrow. I do my Friday live. We'll be doing tomorrow. It's gonna be professional and demure during business hours. I hope I don't have to read anybody during business hours, but if I do, y'all know I can listen from the boardroom to the corner store or the street corner. All right, it is what it is. Just remember, Miss Views of You will be live late tonight. All right, and we'll be waiting for you, Miss View. So I'm gonna put you on ringer so I can hear you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Take the information as you will, pass it along, and let's just continue to see how it all develops. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.